Here we go.
Hey, Lab Coat Agents, it's Tristan and Nick, and we have the blessing to have Raj Qsar with us. He's absolutely, I mean, if you don't know Raj, full of energy. The guy livens up the room everywhere he goes.
Who?
He's a national speaker. He's the CEO of the boutique real estate group out in with the Newport Beach, Orange County area, right?
That's right, baby.
And you'll get to know him a little bit more. The guy's a genius at marketing. And Nick, let's welcome Raj.
What's up, Raj?
What's up, Nick? Tristan, I can't tell you. I've been looking forward to this for like months now. We started talking about this months ago, so I can't even handle it. Thanks, Camille. I can't even handle that. We're on the line together, so good stuff.
No, man. Thanks for giving us. Oh, you drink Red Bull. Oh, I love you a lot more now.
so real quick.
Just so you guys know, I'm not being rude and texting while Raj is talking. I'm actually chatting on the live YouTube feed.
Oh, good. Chat on the side there. Perfect, dude.
So that's cool. So what were we saying?
Red Bull. Red Bull.
Oh yeah. So Tristan, next time you get a listing in Newport Beach and you drive right by my office, okay?
Okay.
You drive right by. You don't stop. You don't wave. You don't do anything.
Dude, I didn't know you lived there.
That's because Tristan took one of your listings away, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but we have Red Bull, coffee, and wine and water in the office. So that's awesome. That's what we serve.
I love it. Well, thanks for doing this with us. I appreciate it. We appreciate you being an amazing admin and your contribution too. And I love your shirt too. Can I see the shirt?
You want to see the shirt? So I kind of did this in honor of like how you guys roll with Lab Coat. So you got Bomb Bomb. Do you know what this is?
Oh yeah. Real Scout.
I know who that is.
Is Andrew on the line? I mean, just a little love for Andrew.
Yeah, I know. All right. You ready?
Bring it on. I don't even know what the questions are, but I'm ready. So let's see what you got.
Ask you simple questions here. I think a lot of the people know your success, and they know that you're amazing at branding and marketing. You're a single agent. Were you part of a team? Were you part of a different brokerage, or did you just start off with this brokerage? Tell us how it started from the beginning.
Yeah, I love that question. It's a question I get a lot. So I got into real estate, like stumbled into it, just like a lot of other people did. I had another full-time job. I was out Okay, so I worked for a pharmaceutical company.
Oh, nice.
So I was in sales, management, training, leadership, the whole deal. But it just like wasn't enough for me. It really wasn't. But on the weekends, I found myself looking at houses all the time, looking at houses. And my wife says, hey, you'd be so good at this. You should get your license. That's what she says. And so, lo and behold, back in the time, I went to classes, like real life classes, studied, and got my license. Well, a week later, I'm sitting at a happy hour with my doctor friends from my pharmaceutical world, and one of the docs turns to me and says, hey, Raj, you know everyone. You literally know everyone. Do you know a good real estate agent? And I was like, whoa, I just passed my test a week ago. I just hung my license up. I'm like, well, I'm licensed. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'd love to do it with you. He's like, yeah, I trust you. I've known you for years. Let's do it. So you guys we look at like 3 houses. We write up 2 offers. 1 gets accepted. And we close in like 21 days. No loan issues, no appraisal issues, inspection. I mean, it was like, I'm like, seriously? That's all you do? That's it? This job is big. This job's so easy. So anyway, like a week later, after closing, he's like, hey, Raj, you did such a great job. Like, I want to introduce you to my attending who wants to buy a house in Yorba Linda. I was like, whoa, well, that's cool. So I immediately got thrown into this sphere, or this circle of physicians buying homes.
Oh, wow.
So as I roll into real estate, and I roll into these doctors' offices, they want to talk about real estate, not pharmaceuticals. So it got to a point where it got a little difficult to do both, to be honest, because all they wanted to do was talk about real estate. Like, they know the drugs, they got it, yeah, Raj, we got it, no problem, but they want to talk about real estate. So it got to the point where I was getting busier than I could be on my own. And at that point, I was on my own when I first started for maybe like 6 months. But once I figured out like print, because we didn't really have digital back then, there was no social media, there was no CRMs.
How long ago did you start in this business, dude?
I was licensed in '06.
Okay.
Okay, so pre-social, right?
Yeah.
There's no lab coat agents to jump in and start asking a zillion questions, right? There's none of that, right? Like we didn't do that. So I sent an email to a handful of friends, and I'm like, I want my stuff to look different. So I would get like 10, 15 pieces of mail at my home every day. So I grabbed all that stuff and I met a designer. I said, see all this stuff? This is the stuff I get in the mail. It's literally the same headshot on like the same piece of marketing material, but different people, but different companies. And this company was red, and this company was yellow, and this company was blue, and this company was purple. And I'm like, I want my stuff to be totally different. So that was like the genesis of where my brain went into branding, really. So I met with this guy. He's like, yeah, like what's your feel? What's your look? I said, I want to be like hip and young. I want to be modern. I want to look different than this stuff. I want my photo, my headshot, not to be like from the 80s.
There's nothing wrong with the 80s.
You know? No, the 80s had some high times, but most of it not so good for real estate. So it just went into like the brand creation, and it was Raj Qsar, and my DBA was Premier Orange County Real Estate, and that's how I rolled.
So with that, what would you suggest for somebody starting off so they don't have to go through all the ups and downs of branding? What would you say to somebody like first year or second year saying, no, where do I start with branding or with marketing? What do I do?
Well, I'd find a company or a brokerage that they respect, first of all, where the stuff's in line and they're able to offer you, a new agent, something. So besides the branding, a newer agent's going to need coaching and training and mentoring. You know what I mean? Like, find a place where you could like join a team or be a mentor to someone who's got 2 or 3 agents. It doesn't have to be some team with like 50 people on there. You know, I think the smaller team, the better, especially up front, because it's more hand-holding. It's more one-on-one. It's more
true. Very true.
Intimate moments, sitting on a laptop at Starbucks and going, an email just came in. What do you do now? What are you doing with that piece of data? Right? What are you going to do with it? We talk about it every day in lab coats. Every day. There's so much going on, but like it's moving so fast that you don't know what to do with it initially. So I think that brand new agent needs that up front.
Nice.
It's going to start with the leadership at the brokerage too. So if the leadership isn't doing it, the management's not going to do it, the agents are going to do it.
So it starts from the top. Makes sense. All right. Good advice. Nick, do you have any question in between mine?
I'm just soaking it all up.
Oh, nice, nice, dude. So now you've got your real estate company, Raj.
I just have a quick interjection.
Go ahead.
So basically, I mean, Raj, you pretty much taught yourself for the most part.
Yeah, 100%.
So, did you ever feel lost or confused or, because you didn't have anyone else to turn to, it was just you, and you were kind of like rolling with it as you went along. What did you do when, you kind of hit a roadblock, you weren't really sure where to turn, what to do, with a certain transaction that maybe you didn't know a way out of, a situation, what advice do you give to agents that are in that position?
Yeah, once again, someone in-house and staff. So at that time, I was up and rolling at another brokerage. So before we started the boutique, I was somewhere else, and I had my team at another brokerage. And so they had a really good staff there, people who would answer your questions. I remember rolling in on that first offer that I was telling you guys about. I rolled into the office manager, and I was writing the offer on triplicates. Remember? I mean, I don't know if you guys were around for that, but triplicates.
Dude, I remember.
Yeah, and he's like, you're not pushing down hard enough. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? This is how you do it? But anyway, like we had good staff and good support there. So that was definitely a blessing starting off as a newer agent. But once tech started hitting and social hitting, we just embraced it. I mean, we weren't scared of it. I remember going to my first broker open and I said, hey guys, I just posted, got a new listing coming next week, just posted 35 photos on my fan page on Facebook. It'd be so
like, what?
Yeah, if you guys could check it out. And literally, it was silence. It was absolute dead stares with like 50 people in the room. Average age 145, by the way. But like just dead stares. And people like came up to me, what, you think you're a big shot now? You have fans? Like, what is that?
Yeah,
like,
what does that mean? Right.
So that's kind of what's there. But once Facebook started kicking, we started pushing away from the print, the traditional print, like magazine ads, where it's like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for a page, and we went to pay-per-click, right? Because it just made sense. And once website technology started like catching on, where we started talking APIs, you could drop CRMs on the back of it, lead management. It changed everything. So we were able to keep in contact with people better than anyone in our market. And our stuff looked better than anything in our marketplace. So I went up against 5 or 6 ladies, and I tell this story all the time. 5 or 6 ladies dominate my farm. They've been practicing real estate longer than I've been alive. Okay? They don't have to do anything. Their phone just rings, and they get the business. Wow. So they sold to the grandparents who were their age, to the parents, to the kids, and now the grandkids, right? So it's not like they're rolling through with actors and actresses jumping in helicopters, have drones, have puppies with collars on them that are custom made, flown in from Texas with leather and a URL on the, they weren't doing any of that. They didn't have to, okay? No. They don't have to set up Matterport or 3D tours. They didn't have to. Their phone just rang. The phone didn't just ring for me, okay? I needed to feed people. I had to cover a mortgage. So I had to hustle, right? Had to. So like that's big for us. I don't know if you guys could see that.
Love it. I want one.
Yeah, we had to hustle, and that's why I'm wearing this shirt, because it says the same thing too. But we had to figure out how to do it. And honestly, way back when, jumped online and I started searching for ways to do things differently. And I run across a guy named Chris Smith. You know who I'm talking about? Yeah, and he has this little apartment in New York. He's got his headphones on, his white T-shirt, hat on backwards. He's like, you got to create 4 different types of Facebook ads. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is someone who's in real estate talking about Facebook? I have to pay attention. So he wrote down the 4 Facebook ads, like one of yourself, one of an open house, one of a listing, and I don't remember what the 4th one was, but it was 4 different ones. And I was like, oh my God, here's someone talking my language. Here's someone in my age bracket talking about real estate and technology, and it has to do with Facebook. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I just sent him an email. And we connected online immediately. Facebook, Twitter, and then as soon as Instagram hit, we were friends on everything. And then Inman was in town back when he worked for Inman, and they're like, hey Raj, it would be so awesome if you came and spoke at one of our reboots in Orange County. I'm like, me? Speak? Speak about what? What do people want to hear what I want to say? It didn't make sense to me. I was in the pharmaceutical industry where I'd pay physicians for their time and their knowledge to speak to other physicians about a certain disease state. Now people were like, hey, we want you to talk about video, marketing, technology to other agents. So I remember at that Inman, I met people like Chris Smith in real life, Katie Lance, Stacy Harmon, Bob Watson. These people were real life people who I got to meet, and they're like, oh, we've heard of you, we've seen your stuff online. And back in those days, you're like, no one's watching. No one's watching. It was.
You know what that reminded me of? The story you told about the ladies in your market that dominated, and they didn't have to pick up the phone. The calls just came in. So I mean, it reminds me of our Gary Vee interview a couple weeks ago when he said, exactly that. You're a big agent in Beverly Hills, and you feel like you don't have to do anything to innovate, and your phone is going to ring until one day it doesn't, right? So that's what's going to happen to them, and because you're hustling and being innovative, they're going to be the reason that you're going to be the reason their phone stops ringing. Essentially, that's what Gary Vee meant by that.
Well, that's the cool. And so immediately after that, you get a couple listings, you go up against some of these ladies, and you get the listing. And then all of a sudden it's who's this guy?
Right.
And all of a sudden you have a target on your back. Now, this is a young guy. He's talking about technology. He's talking about marketing. Oh, he's talking about servicing the client as well. Oh, and he's staging. We never talk about that, but staging every listing, even if it's a rental, they're staging it and taking professional photos. We don't make any money on rentals, ever, right? But you guys remember that one I posted in Lab Coats about the rental that's turned into 18 sides or whatever it is?
Yeah.
We killed it. We staged it. We took awesome photos. Inman wrote about it. You guys wrote about it. I mean, We never said no. We never said no.
So here, take me through something because everybody wants to know this in different markets. How do you break into like yours? How do you do it, and how do you stay at the top? Like, how did you do it besides the referrals that you got? Can you take us through the process of how you advertise? Because in the market you're in, it's a tough market to break into, right?
Yeah, it's really tough. It's probably one of the most competitive markets on the planet, I would say.
I agree with you.
So back then it was print, and it was magazine ads back in the day. But you'd send out 10,000, 15,000 brochures or flyers and get 1 or 2 calls, and you were pumped up. The first one I sent out, I got a call on my first luxury listing in the hood that I just came into and started dominating. It was 1.8, single level view. It was because of my piece, and the first thing they said is, you're different, your stuff looks clean, and it's not the same old face I've been seeing for the last 10 years. Nice. That was my first call.
Okay.
Ever on a marketing piece. No URL, no retargeting campaigns, no CRM, no lead capture pages, nothing. Straight. Oh, I got your postcard in the mail. Can you come over and talk to us about selling our home? All day long.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was the first one. But we're much more advanced now. We're much more strategic and much more tactical with anything that we're doing, whether it's digital or print or taking someone from print to digital.
So do your mailers that you send out now, do they have a more specific call to action? Because you said that first call you got, there was really no call to action, right? It was just just a straight up message.
It was a beautiful looking piece.
Yeah.
With my mugshot that looked different. That wasn't like
it just looked different. Okay.
With a logo behind me. But just
caught their attention. It caught their attention. It wasn't like, call us.
Laughing, did it capture you in a moment?
Say it again?
What did you say, Tristan?
Sorry, I'm cutting off here.
Yeah.
Was it you in the picture laughing? Did it capture a moment, or was it just...
No, nothing like that. No, we weren't there yet with that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It wasn't emotional. It wasn't anything like that. It was something like it was a basic postcard, 6x11 postcard, that just looked a little different. No call to action, but like your local resident and realtor, something like that.
I really think that that's a really powerful message because I recently started farming a neighborhood, and I'm using a company now called Geographic Farm, and their postcards are pretty custom, and so we just sent out an introduction postcard, which basically was, we're the agent in town, right? Yeah. And I just posted it on Facebook. We sent out our first mailer a couple weeks ago to 500 homes, and first mailer phone call to go list an $800,000 property. I know it was a postcard. It was just so different than anything you've seen. So that's a really powerful message.
What did you use for postcards?
Who, me?
Yeah, you guys have your own. Raj, you have your own in-house, right?
Yeah, so we have a designer. We actually have a full-time, a part-time, and then like a liaison in-house. So all our stuff. Agent joins the brokerage. They get a Dropbox folder of all of our pieces, and then we're able to customize those pieces for that agent.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, I like that.
So anything from postcards, door knockers, notepads, to 17 by 22 four-way folded sheets that are gorgeous. I mean, anything
How often do your pieces go out to homes? How often are you sending them out?
Yeah, so we send once a month. So myself, in my farm, sends once a month with my sales partner, and then the brokerage sends once a month around the office in Newport Beach.
Okay.
So 5,000 homes each. So 10,000 pieces a month.
Wow. 10,000 pieces a month, 2 times a month, or total?
Total.
Nice, and you create that all in-house, right?
Yeah. So you guys have seen my posts on lab coats, but it's designed. That final file sent to the printer. We're able to pick it up from the printer, bring it to the office, and you've seen my stacks, right?
Yeah.
So stacks of 100, rubber banded with a USPS label on each one.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yep. So 5,000. So 10,000 total a month go out to 2 specific farms. Yeah. But then on top of both of those farms, we've got retargeting campaigns going to both of those farms. We have Nosy Neighbor campaign going to both of those farms.
Neighbors.
So I mean, you have how many agents you have in your brokerage right now?
I'm getting the sign, 22.
The sign, you gotta go?
No, 22.
22.
Our operations manager is sitting right across from me. I'm like,
I don't know how many agents we have. So many.
No, 22. We're small, 22 agents.
So, I mean, obviously you're doing this at a super high level, right? So I feel like a lot of the agents in lab coats, a good amount are single agents. So, you know, if a single agent just wants to break into a territory, you know, 500, 1,000 homes, what would be the strategy you think they should take?
Well, first of all, if they're in Orange County, they should call me. If they're not in Orange County, they should find something that's set up already. Like geographic farming could be a great one to do, you know?
Yeah.
And make friends with these printers. Did we just lose Tristan? Make friends with these printers, man. They're going to be like your BFFs, you know?
Did Tristan?
I'm still here. I just switched rooms because I had a bad reception in the other room.
Oh my God, you're killing us. All right, go ahead, Raj. Sorry about that.
Okay, so first of all, find a great printer. Second of all, if you could just make your stuff not look like every other agent's in your office, exactly, especially if you're at a huge office with 1,000 agents,
yeah.
and you're overlapping farms with the same agents in your office, and it's, for lack of a better word, like blue and white, every piece, you know, with a black and white headshot, and it goes out to the same office. Now, Tristan, you're invisible now, dude. We don't even
know, bro. I'm trying to get good reception here.
Dude, you are just an embarrassment to lab coats, right?
This says live, but can we edit it at all or no?
No. Just
okay,
the part where.
Raj, I have a couple questions.
Bring it.
In today's market, with so much social media and marketing and digital ads, how much do you spend on Facebook advertising, or is it's not all organic? There's retargeting. How much do you spend on your advertising?
Oh, I don't know if I could answer that, but it's in the thousands of dollars a month. Thousands. But you got to remember, so that splits up into two layers. Like, we're advertising ourselves, like as an agent, but then the brokerage is advertising as well for our agents. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
There's two components of that. So there's brokerage branded stuff and there's agent branded stuff, but thousands.
Nice, man. So what would you recommend for somebody starting off? Because they don't have an in-house printer or...
I would say, here you go. Write this down if you're listening. Write it down. Do open houses.
Open houses. So explain to me how that would work.
Well, you would do open houses. So if you don't have any, you probably don't have any listings right now to go do them, but people in your office do, and I'm sure they'd like them held. Or a great idea is if you're working a city and you find a house that's been listed over 60 or 90 days that's with an out-of-area agent, they would probably love for you to host an open house there, especially if it's vacant, right? So those are just some easy strategies. But you need to collect data now when you're at the open house. You can't just sit there and open the door. You got to give people something of value. So, right? So, like, we use Open Home Pro. So you definitely need something for people to sign in on. Then what are you going to do with the information that you get from the open house? It needs to get dropped somewhere, like into a CRM. So I think right now agents have so much at their fingertips, and it's so much more affordable now than it was 10 or 15 years ago, that they could just kill it. Like, imagine if you did one open house, you work 2 days a week. One's an open house, one's data collecting, farming, prospecting, your leads from the open house. You did it 52 weeks a year. You literally would be probably the #1 agent in your office, and you'd be pretty darn close to killing it by the end of the year in your city. I could guarantee you that. But people don't want to put the work in. They don't want to sweat. They don't want to get their fingernails dirty.
It's true.
It's really tough to do open houses. I mean, we're putting up 60 to 80 signs at 6 a.m. in the morning. Then we're going home to get ready, shower, change, get our email campaigns out for the open house. It's on every platform. It's on social. It's running ads, whatever. And then we're doing the open house. And then after it, we're collecting all the information. We're all dressed and looking good. Then we're taking down 60 to 80 open house signs. Your day is shot and you're spent.
That's so true.
You know what I mean? Like, most agents don't want to do that. They want to know, give me the golden key where I could sit behind my computer and just collect information. And then they don't know what to do with it. Like the most common thread in our lab coat group, what's the best CRM out there? Should I spend money on Zillow? What should I spend money on? Who's your designer? What does your piece look like? It's not that. It's got to be you got to walk before you can run. You have to. Like if you can't write a contract, you shouldn't be hosting an open house.
That's a good point, dude.
Right? Like if someone comes in and they want to buy the house and you're by yourself, what are you going to do? Hold on. Let me call Tristan and Nick? No. Like you can't do that.
True.
Right?
It's a great point, man.
Yeah. If you're going to write an offer, you just need to know what the offer says. Because once it's executed, that's binding. And most agents don't care what it says anymore. Right? Yeah. Sorry to get on the soapbox, but this is like the last couple of weeks of my life was dealing with that.
No, I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. That's a great point that you make.
So what else you got?
Dude,
what else you got, Tristan?
We have a lot. Hold on. Here are my notes.
Go. I'm texting a client.
All right, here's a great question. Real estate's it's a lot of hustle, man. And I feel like I'm doing it all day long. How does that affect your family life, and how do you deal with that?
Man.
Hey, dude, I told you I was going to ask you hard questions, okay?
Dude, we are never off. Ever.
I know.
We're never off. I mean, I've literally gotten up off the kitchen table where we have dinner and taken a call. I mean, it's tough. Like, if you don't so yesterday in the car, you got a sign call on a listing we have in Long Beach. And the lady's like, I've called 4 people. You're the first person to pick up the phone. Yeah. You know? Like, if you don't answer, someone else is. And on all the portals, they have options, right? Yeah. So they'll try the first agent, the second, the third, the fourth. If you don't answer, you're not going to get the business.
I agree.
8 o'clock at night. Like last night I got a call at like 8:45. I'm picking up my daughter from dance, and I got a call in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I took it.
Yeah, dude.
So, I mean, you have to. You don't sleep. If you're someone, like the business isn't for you if you have to shut off. You know, if you want to do 1 to 2 to 4 deals a year, you can shut off. You can take 3 or 4 months off. We just can't do that.
So how do you adjust that to have a family time or time with the family or your wife or your kids?
It gets tough, man. I can't answer that. It gets so tough. And the kids are busy too, you know? Like I've got 3. They're all busy. Dance, ballet, theater, soccer, football. They all have their own schedules too. So it's really, really tough. It's probably the toughest part of the business.
All right, so now here's another question. Take us through the perfect day for you from start to finish.
Ooh.
Including what you do for, if you prospect, or what you do to follow up, or what you do to promote properties. What would a good day look like so it could be a good example to other agents?
Awesome. That's great. I'm up pretty early, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
What the hell do you do up that early? Jeez.
Well, let me finish my sentence and I'll tell you.
My God. I'm cutting out. That's too early.
Okay. No alarm, and I just roll out of bed.
So are you just kind of like, is your body just set to wake up automatically at that time?
Okay, so what you guys don't know, and what you didn't ask me is, before I was in pharmaceutical sales, I actually went to medical school. So you guys didn't ask me that.
I did not know that.
Okay, so I did 3 years of medical school. So in college, undergrad, I was always up early. I always took the early morning classes, like 8 a.m. So just starting in college, I'd roll out of bed, no alarm, and go to class. Beat the traffic.
You're wired like that from an
I'm
early
just wired like that. Genetically, DNA. I'm up early, but like 9:30, I'm a pumpkin. I'm out. Like on the couch, laptop on my lap, like
that's so
out. Funny. Okay, so 4:35, I get up and make myself an energy drink.
Mm-hmm.
I jump on my couch with my laptop, and I'm doing 20 follow-ups in my CRM. So in my dashboard, I show the 20 people that I need to talk to.
What CRM do you use?
What do you use?
We use Contactually.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so 20 follow-ups in my CRM, and then I'm creating a drip that's going to go to the entire brokerage. So something of value, something of content.
Nice.
Today was who to follow online and what podcast to listen to.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so almost every day I'm sending an email to the entire team. So it's either myself or our operations manager that's sending an email to the whole team of value. And then not only is it sent via email, it's dropped in our Slack account as well. Because sometimes people will catch the email, sometimes they'll catch it on Slack, whatever.
Cool.
So by the time I'm done with that, then I jump on social, and I'm checking click-through rates on all our ads we're running on Facebook. Then I'm jumping on Google Analytics and checking website traffic.
Nice.
Then I'm jumping on email and responding to anything that's urgent. So in our world, urgent is anything purchase contract related. Okay? After that, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I'm headed to the gym, the CrossFit. At 6:30. So
6:30.
I'm up 4:35, I get all that done, and at 6:30 I'm at the gym.
Wow.
I usually hit Starbucks on the way back, and then I'm back at the gym, then it's a little bit of family time.
What do you pick up at Starbucks on the way back?
A venti ice cream tea and a classic oatmeal, no fruit.
Well, I figured, you just did CrossFit, I wanted to know.
So there you go. So then I'm back, it's a little bit of family time actually, so I'm getting the kids ready for school.
Okay.
So either giving them breakfast, getting their lunches made, whatever. They're usually out the door by 8:15, and then I've got about another hour to tackle whatever I got to do. So this is the time I'm writing purchase contracts, counters, offers, whatever, communicating with my team. So we have a TC manager, my sales partner, making sure everything's in line for the day. Then it's usually I'm off to the office. So I'm out the door by about 10 o'clock. So get to the office so I could avoid traffic, and I'm doing whatever needs to be done at the office. And we're either coordinating, we're strategizing, we have an office meeting, whatever that is, and then it's back on the road, and usually our showings are in the afternoon. So we're usually showing until about 5 or 6 o'clock.
Nice.
So that's the time we schedule walkthroughs, termite inspections. All our showings are by appointment only. Either myself is there, my sales partner is there, or our assistant's there on every single showing.
Makes sense.
We never send anyone to a home with the lights off, the music off, the pool not running, beds not made, toilet seats up, floaters in the toilet. I mean, we never do that.
Whoa. So how early do you get into a home before it's being shown?
Depending on the size of the home, it could be 5 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending. Okay. Yeah. We've got a listing coming up that's $10 million. That'll probably take us like 45 minutes to figure out how to even turn the lights on. So
right, cool.
It's just one of those things. So that's the day. And usually sometimes, like a couple times a week, we're out and networking. So we're either out with our lender friends, our escrow friends, our relocation division. We're out with other agents. We're doing something a couple times a week usually, whether it's in the community or in our industry, we're out doing something.
How do you wind down towards the end of the day?
I jump back on email on my laptop, usually with a glass of wine, and I wind down.
Nice.
So for me, emails are morning and night. It's really tough during the day unless it's transactional. The lender needs that last final document before clear to close or whatever it is. I mean, that's during the day. But usually our assistant's able to take care of all that stuff. But for me personally, it's stuff in the office going on, but it's morning and night is when I'm in email.
Cool.
So that's my day. If I have time, I'm usually scheduling, so I don't have to do it in the morning. My next post to the team, my next post for LabCoat, my next post for any of the other groups I'm adminning, that's at night after the kids are in bed, I've got a glass of wine, and I'm winding down.
So, dude, it sounds like you're freaking busy all the time. Tell me, because I've been asking all our interviews this, what's the reason, what drives you? What's your purpose? What's your big why?
It's just like I said earlier, it's like in my DNA to like not stop and to hustle. I don't like to lose, and we've had a few listings in the last couple months that we've lost, and it doesn't make me happy. Like, we won't get every listing, guaranteed. Like, it may not be the right chemistry, it could be commission, it could be anything, right? Like, we may not get every listing, but I hate to lose, so I'm always looking to up our game. I mean, we're getting so busy right now, especially with design, like in-house design. We have got like 30 or 35 things in queue for design, and that's a huge workload. So we're not perfect there. So my mind's like, how do we get perfect there? How do we make that part of our business better? Like, digitally, we look awesome. Like, a couple months ago, we were working on onboarding. Like, we were getting new agents in, and how do we onboard new agents? So that was something we were working on. So there's little things about being with a little brokerage, a smaller brokerage, that you still have to fine tune and you have to work on every single day.
So you're always trying to find a way to get better.
We're always trying to find a way to get better.
That's your key.
That's right.
Nice, man.
So when you when you said that you don't get every listing, how do you use that as a learning experience? Is there a way for you to? I know a lot of agents who don't get certain listings, they try to get feedback from the seller. What didn't we do right? Do you ever try to do that, and how do you use that to your advantage?
Yeah, usually it's kind of like it's like heartbreaking not to get a listing. You know what I mean? Like you go in there and you just kill it, and you're like, God, I wish they could just see what we do. If they just gave us if they saw this, this is what beautiful looks like. This is your home. This could be your home. And you got to remember, sometimes it's price too. The market's moving so fast in Orange County right now. People want what their neighbor got, but you got to remember it's like a recipe. All the ingredients have to be there to get that price, right? That house had a view, yours didn't. That house had a pool, yours didn't.
Yeah.
That house had wood floors flown in from the south of France, made by 2 monks with no thumbs, and they were taken from a church built in the 17th century. You got your wood floors from Home Depot.
Yeah.
There's no way that you're going to get the same price as that person.
Hey, what's wrong with Home Depot? Come on,
but I'm just making a point, Nick. I'm just making a point.
I know.
So it's this recipe, it's this cocktail. It all has to come together perfectly to get what I'm saying I think you can get.
Yeah.
And when that's all not there, we may lose a listing because of that. Well, my neighbor got 1.4 million. How come I can't? Well, I'm saying you're worth 1.3 because of these reasons.
Right. Yeah.
So sometimes we won't get a listing for that. But it was interesting. We're part of an organization called Give Back Homes. And so for every home we sell, we help build a home for a family in need. We have almost 100% participation at the brokerage. So every month, all of our agents are donating a certain amount to this charity. And then with closings, they're able to donate as well. But we presented this at a listing, and the guy right off the bat, we didn't have the listing, says, oh my gosh, put me down for $200.
Oh.
Wow,
but
nice.
guess what? We didn't get that listing.
Huh.
He wanted to contribute to what we were doing. We're like, we nailed it. High fives out the door, chest bump, the whole deal. But we didn't get the listing.
What?
But he wanted to donate to the charity we were a part of. So you never know what goes through someone's mind, and sometimes you'll never know, or they hired a family friend.
That's very true.
You won't know that. And then the house goes online because now we're following it. We want to know what happens, and it looks, they weren't given the best chance of success with what's presented currently. And why is that? That's what keeps me up at night. When they go with someone else and you see what they did online, it's not staged, it's not professionally photographed, there's no video, there's no 3D tour, there's no single property website. I haven't been invited to a single event at this property, not one. I haven't got a single email on it, and it's a local agent, right? You would think at least the local agents would get an email. It wasn't on Broker Preview. Nothing logically has been done,
right?
But they still got the listing.
Maybe it may have just come down to commission at the end of the day.
It may have. So we'll really never know that,
Right.
So
exactly.
Very true, man. Well, I'm winding down. You have any other questions? I have one more, Nick.
Well, I was just gonna say that you mentioned, a family friend. I mean, I'm in a neighborhood where everybody knows a realtor, right? So it's super competitive. We're in a smaller town, but it's outskirts of we're 9 miles west of Manhattan, but everybody knows a realtor in the suburbs. So it's really important to set yourself apart, and I think that there's agents out there learning a lot from this discussion right now. So I'm glad.
Nick, let me give you an example. There's 9 agents who live in my neighborhood of 94 homes. 9. Okay? There's 2 on my street.
Huh. You should just recruit them. What's up with that?
Yeah. Awesome. So real quick, 94 homes in the neighborhood, 45 have sold, 35 have been ours.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so when you're able to say that, we're still not getting every single one, right?
Right.
One listed right across the street from my house with someone else. Local agent, they're great though. They're really great. I'm glad they got it. But what I'm saying is I'm not going to get every one, and I'm at the point in my life where I'm it's okay. It's okay. it sucks I didn't get it, and I would love to have it, but I didn't get it. But that's fine, you know? And you just push on. And then guess what? We got another one in the neighborhood, you know? And then another one. You just got to keep doing and focus on the positive and just, like, do your best job for your – you can't forget about the clients. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. So here, last question for you, man. What's one piece of advice you can give a new agent just starting off? Something that could save them time, energy.
Awesome.
I have one more question after that from Sergio.
Sergio's asking to ask you a question.
Awesome. One piece of advice. Join a brokerage where the leadership, like, you can respect the leadership. And they're doing things that you want to do.
That's really good advice, dude. I wish I would have gotten that in an early stage.
Yeah.
Really
So
good.
I wouldn't join a brokerage just because of a name. I wouldn't join a brokerage because there's 14 pictures of guys in suits with gray hair. Like, I would join a brokerage where they're, like, doing things that you respect and you want to be a part of.
That's awesome.
The culture has to be kick-ass.
Great advice. Nick, what's your question from Sergio?
Sergio says, "Hey, hotshot, my marketing is really good too." That's really, like, not cool of Sergio to say that. He says, "How has Leverage Global helped your business?"
Oh, wow. Plug for Leverage. Okay, so Leverage Global, in case you don't know what that is, that's an independent network of luxury real estate brokers worldwide. So we're the Leverage Global partner here in Orange County. And so what Leverage has enabled us to do is, one, give us a platform where our listings can get syndicated globally and shared through the network. So I think they have over 300 brokerages worldwide. When I send a referral through Leverage, it's president to president, CEO to CEO. It's not, I got a buddy in Austin, and I'm going to hook you up. It's, I'm going to introduce you to the president of XYZ brokerage in Italy, and they will find the best agent at the brokerage to manage your transition and relocation from Newport Beach to Italy. So it's president, peer-to-peer, CEO to CEO. They've got great portals on the back end of their website for training. And really, some of the best names in the business are involved with Leverage, and it's a great little network.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Love it.
Nick, any other questions? You
Yeah,
good?
I'm good, man. What about you, Tristan?
I'm done. Thank you so much, Raj. I
Raj,
appreciate it. What an awesome...
any final words? Any final words that you'd like to grace us with?
Yeah, I would just say I'll see you guys in San Francisco at Inman.
Sure. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Final last words.
Oh,
Here we go. I got a good one. What's that? Oh my gosh. Okay, final last words. We'll have to do a smile so I can take a photo. Final last words. There's someone on the other end of every email, every text, every phone call you make. Okay? You're trying to create champions every single step of the way. Someone who'll not just, like, love you, but love your business and support you, whether it's word of mouth or a text or an email or something that goes out. So a lot of times we are so busy. We're just trying to send an email, send a text. Take a breath before you send a text. Take a breath before you send an email, and think of who's on the other line and how would you want to receive that email, text, or phone call.
Wow, that's good, man.
advice, man.
All right.
Let's
Signing
do one.
off. Thank you, Raj. Let's do one smile for the camera, guys.
Okay.
That was really long.
That was-
Thanks, Raj.
Take the picture.